Hey everybody, this is Chris Ferris from Secondhandstories84. I'm the writer, narrator, editor, graphic designer, everything in between for the channel. And I just wanted to check in with you guys and do a video where I talk about my process, how I do things, give a little preview, answer some questions, address some suggestions. So let's get past all this intro stuff and just dive in. One big question I always get is, do I use AI? Is it really my voice when I am doing the narration? I think that if you're listening right now, you can tell that yes, I actually do narrate my videos. It is a process to get it done right, but I narrate it. I use a Blue Yeti Nano and GarageBand, and then I throw things over into iMovie and reduce the background noise there. It takes me about, how long does it take me? About 30 to 40 minutes to do a 12-minute episode because I just really am critical of my voice and I want to make sure it's done right. And so, but yeah, I don't use AI in that. I don't use AI to write. I come up with the ideas myself and I write them in a Google Doc, and I use a notebook like this one right here to come up with my ideas. And then when I get them all done, then I throw it in a Google Doc and go through a whole process. I'll get into that later. Then for the graphic designs, I come up with those in Affinity Designer. By the way, this is not like a promotion for any of those products. It's just telling you guys what I do. I use Affinity Designer to do the graphic designs and everything for my videos. So yeah, I just come up with everything on my own, and I'm not out here to rail against AI or anything. I just don't really want to learn the systems, and I feel like I can do a basic job enough myself. So that's why I just do it myself. So suggestion was, what was that suggestion? Yes, will you be using background music or background sound effects, or more likely, you should use music and sound effects in your videos? I'm just not going to do it right now. I'm so consumed with coming up with ideas, writing, narrating, coming up with graphic designs and stuff like that, that I just don't have the time to do the music. And I know there's some people out there that might want to collab with me about that, but right now is just not the time for it. So I'm not going to uh, pursue that right now. It doesn't mean that maybe in the future I won't, and we can all look back at these old videos and laugh and have a good time, and it'd be great. So, um, finally, yeah. So I'm just not going to do it right now. So finally, some insights. There we go. That's what I wanted to talk about next. Insights into how I come up with things. So I have it written down. So if I look down from the camera, like it's purposeful, so I can communicate it to you guys properly. I come up with an idea for the time traveler's tale, for instance. I grew up loving time travel stories. Back to the Future, Quantum Leap, Chrono Trigger. I read short stories on time travel. One that was really poignant to me was A Sound of Thunder. It's a great short story involving time travel and dinosaurs. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it's fun. Um, so all that kind of stuff intrigued me, and eventually I came up with my own theories about time travel and how it would work, and it's been put into this story. That's where I got the premise for the story. Then what I did was I came up with a couple of characters, gave them some personality, gave them a little bit of a bio for who they were and what their foibles were, what their issues were, what their virtues were, and then I started writing about the plot. I come up with a um, sentence about the beginning and where things will start, and I come up with a sentence about where things will end, and then I fill it in with 10 more sentences, and that becomes the 12-part series. Then what I do is I play around with them and make sure that they all will fit, and I then expand those sentences into paragraphs. So then I take those paragraphs and I play around with them some more, move things around a little bit, and then I start writing. I take a paragraph and I try to expand it out into 1,500 to 2,000 words each. And each one of those paragraphs has to become a story within a story. It has a beginning, middle, and end. And the purpose behind that was in the golden age era of writing, when people would publish their stories first as serials in magazines before getting it created into full length books, novellas, novels. They would that's how they would do it. And so I'm trying to mirror that with these stories. So I do that. I come up with basically a story within a story. And once it's all written out, it's about 20,000 words plus. And I go back through it and I edit it for tone, edit it for grammar, edit it for plot holes, all those stuff. And once I'm satisfied with all of that, then I start narrating. Like I said, I narrate in GarageBand on a Blue Yeti Nano. And then once that's done, I export it to iTunes, throw it onto iMovie, edit there, and then it's ready to go. Of course, I have a graphic that I create in Affinity Designer, and it's basic. You guys can see that. Basically, I just come up with an image that I think looks kind of cool, and then we'll do a cutout so I can put a video behind it, and then I throw that in iMovie and I edit it a little bit to where the colors pop. So that's basically how I do things. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my process. So how do let me scroll down real quick, guys. Um, Oh, quick announcement. Once this series is finished, The Time Traveler's Tale, I am starting a new book with new characters. This is also a sci fi story. It's going to be one that follows a bounty hunter that gets into a difficult situation. So, why a bounty hunter story? Because I grew up liking Star Wars, and my favorite character is Boba Fett. This is not a Boba Fett fan fiction. It's just I wanted to create my own bounty hunter that did sci-fi stuff, that had an attitude. So if you see some um, inspiration of Boba Fett in this character, that's why. But it is its own character, and I think it's going to be a fun story. I finished writing it and narrating it, and it's ready to go actually. So you'll start seeing that in June, and if you guys have liked this, I know I've kind of rambled a little bit, but if you guys have liked me talking about this, my process, answering questions, giving little previews and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. And if we can't, if it's something that's you guys like, we'll keep doing it. Maybe once a month, once every couple months. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it, and bye.